Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, Holder, Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield, Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal, then a back three, Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner, the wing-backs George Thomason and Danny Imre, in midfield Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien, two strikers Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't there, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal, then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, Holder, Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield, Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal, then a back three, Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner, the wing-backs George Thomason and Danny Imre, in midfield Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien, two strikers Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't there, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal, then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, Holder, Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield, Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal, then a back three, Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner, the wing-backs George Thomason and Danny Imre, in midfield Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien, two strikers Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't there, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan. Holder Alex Roberts. And then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den. They will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough Championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan. Holder Alex Roberts. And then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den. They will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough Championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan. Holder Alex Roberts. And then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den. They will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough Championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan. Holder Alex Roberts. And then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Salik. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den. They will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough Championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, the holder Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Selleck. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, the holder Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Selleck. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, the holder Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Selleck. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, the holder Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Selleck. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, they will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs George Thomason and Danny Imre. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone, Matty James and Lewis O'Brien. Two strikers, Kiefer Moore and Nathan Broadhead. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Cardiff City Stadium, where the Bluebirds take on the Red Dragons in the Championship. For Brian Barry Murphy, hope springs eternal that it's a good season. It's a big gap, isn't it, usually between Division 1 and the Championship. Can they really bridge it? We'll find out a little bit more this evening. They line up with Nathan Trott in goal. Then a back four of Callum Scanlon, Perry Younger, Gabriel Osho and Joel Bagan, the holder Alex Roberts, and then it's four in midfield: Ollie Tanner, Jack Moylan, Cian Ashford and Chris Willock, all behind Yusuf Selleck. For Phil Parkinson's Red Dragons Den, They will be looking to try and at least get some playoff action, if not do better in the tough championship. They have Anthony Patterson in goal. Then a back three: Callum Doyle, Dominic Heim, Zach Viner. The wing backs: George Chom. In midfield, Oliver Rathbone-Matt. Right, so a very warm welcome to our coverage of the game. That's literally just kicked off. I'm John Hogan. I'm joined by Kieran Shelley. And it's two Welsh teams having at it in this championship for Cardiff City. It's going to be a case of hang on in there, travelling more with hope than expectation, I would have thought, this season. And of course, Wrexham have got perhaps bigger fish to fry. Kieran, how do you fancy things tonight?
Yeah, Wrexham obviously go in as the favourites, but Cardiff have won the last 3 meetings between these two sides, albeit only one of them in the last 20 years, which of course last October in the League Cup, where they actually won away from home, did the Bluebirds as well. But after all, it is a derby, and anything can happen in a derby. A lot of history between these two sides, most notably the movement of the Football Association of Wales from Wrexham to Cardiff in 1986.
Brilliant. Right then, so I'd got the Cardiff lineup wrong, courtesy of the BBC. Thanks very much, everybody. Joel Bagan, we think, is going to be centre back tonight, although normally he's a left back. Callum Scanlon's a left back as well, and Perry NG, reliably informed how you pronounce it, is right back in his usual slot tonight. Then, long-standing servant with the Bluebirds, who happily now do play in blue, much to everybody's delight. Here at Wrexham at the edge of the box to see what they can do. Lewis Bryan appended. That's going to be a free kick. Stupid challenge really from Yusuf Salek. We're right into the back of him there. There's no point to that.
Yeah, literally a forwards challenge from Salek. Not sure what he was trying to do. O'Brien is wrong side of him. Just takes a touch away from the Danish forward as well. It's clumsy. Simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. Really clumsy. O'Brien uses the contact. It wasn't necessary enough to take the Englishman to the floor, but a free kick nonetheless.
Yeah, so you say O'Brien, I say O'Brien, whatever his name is. Anyway, young Lewis there is going to deliver from the left-hand side. If he can put a good ball in, well, I know who I'd be looking at. Where are you, Kiefer? He's the man. He started offside. The ball comes in. It's headed away by the rear guard. Could have been Bagan. That's dealt with. Willock chases after it, won't get there. Danny Imre puts the ball back in. Here is Kiefer Moore, an opportunity and a goal for Kiefer Moore on the half volley. I really rate him. You've got to rate me a little bit more after that, don't you? It's a terrific finish.
He loves a goal at this ground as well. I think that's his 6th or 7th in almost as many appearances, Kiefer Moore. And I mean, shocking defending. The fact that ball can go through in the first place. No one's watched him. I don't know if the Cardiff players are half asleep because they think he's offside and almost give up. You've got to ask questions of the goalkeeper Trott as well, I think, if you're going to be maybe a little harsh, although I'm not sure it is harsh because it's from a tight angle. It's well hit. Didn't look too powerful, top corner, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if I'm Barry Murphy, I'm a little bit furious.
Well, I mean, it all stems from the free kick, really. I mean, Salek didn't have to do that, but they've cleared their lines, haven't they? The ball from Imre.
He's onside, Osho.
He is, and Osho just didn't chase back out. It's a cardinal sin, isn't it, really? The ball bounces a couple of times, hits it on the half volley. It's a nice connection. But I find the goalkeeper here, I'm going to be, and his teammates, I'm feeling a bit disappointed. I think he needs to stand and say, right, get past me. And he's a little low in his...
It's right just above his head, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm feeling a Schmeichel standing there saying you shall not pass, and that doesn't go through him, but it's a great goal. I'm such a fan of Kiefer Moore, but anyway, there we go.
7 goals for Kiefer Moore against Cardiff, a lot of which are at this ground.
Well, he again made a great start. Again, he just through the back of him there. It's a bit late for welcome to the game, isn't it? He's already scored a goal, so but he's won another free kick there, Kiefer Moore. This makes life really difficult for Cardiff, doesn't it, conceding so early. You know, you're the away team. You say, well, shut the home fans up first thing, tick that box and a bit more. I thought Usher played quite well for Luton in the Premier League. They were always a back three, though, weren't they? And whether he can shoulder the burden, I don't know. Anyway, another free kick. There he is again, far post. I'm looking for Kiefer Moore. Can they find him again? Ball comes through the middle. You're getting some rough stuff there. Salek having a battle with Kiefer Moore. I was mainly watching that at the far post.
It's not the first time it's happened, by the way. The free kick that came in from O'Brien earlier on, Kiefer Moore had his shirt pulled. Could potentially be 2 penalties if this was a Premier League fixture.
Ball came off Perry NG, and that means it's going to be a corner kick. And again, for me, all eyes on the big lad. He's not the only man. I mean, Dominic Himes great in the air as well, but can they deliver here? Matty James, fine player, who is going to take this one right-footed in swinger. The ball headed straight up in the air. Keeper comes in, he's nowhere near it. Ball bouncing around, and he has to tip it over the crossbar. Wowee, that so easily could have been number 2, Zach Viner, with a header. The keeper came, got nowhere near it.
I'm not sure what Trott was doing. He has so much time to think about this, and then he just changes his mind. No one heads it. It's allowed to bounce. And Doyle gets the shot.
Yeah,
goal was, it looks like a good save from Trott, but he shouldn't have to make it in the first place, and that's his own fault.
Yeah, so another corner kick comes in. Good header away by Salek this time. Ball with Imre just the edge of the box. Chance to deliver a ball in again. Some good covering comes in there. The ball goes out. Cardiff have a chance to clear their lines. Keane Ashford just stepping in. In fact, no. It'll be a throw, and it's going to be a long throw. And here we go. Wrexham then absolutely parked. They're a goal to the good. Cardiff can't get out their own box, let alone half. Another great throw comes in. Bagan heads away, but just the edge of the area. The ball being recycled. Another opportunity to pot shot that ball in from the left-hand side. It's headed away. Will break back in. Matty James, percentage ball in, looking for Doyle, but there's a bit of light relief as the flag had gone up, and they've needed it. Cardiff just need probably to restart, don't they? They've had a terrible start.
Yeah, it's been dreadful. They've not been out there in defensive third, barely been out of their box. Just looking again at that hesitance from Trott before making an all-right save. He's not going to be confident 5 minutes into the season.
No, not at all. More like ECO Trot, which is a book, Anagram of Tortoise, of course. Anyway, he looks at me blankly.
I believe you have.
Yep, well, it's true. Anyway, that's one for all you literary guys and girls listening in. What? Nobody? Anyway, long ball out for Wrexham, but nobody can get there. Bagan watched it over his shoulder, and Nathan Trott has come out, the Bermudan international. The ball goes out to right-hand side. Then an opportunity. Can they get something moving? Bobbling around, eventually thumped away by Thomason, but it's not a great clearance, and it will allow an opportunity then. So just trying to get something going. A really good ball by Perry and G into the box. Just about kept hold of it. The ball then scraped forward by Ollie Tanner, and this time it's Cardiff their turn to win a corner. They're up against some big guys, but anyway, that was a little bit better from them, and their first positive action into the game, really. Nice ball into the box from Perry and G, who he's a scouser, actually, isn't he? He's been at Cardiff for quite some time now. Anyway, here's a corner. We'll bring Kieran in a second, but we'll watch this left-footed ball in from Joel Bagan first to the far post, through the box, and well, I'll show there he's claiming. He points at his own eyes. I think the referee thinking, yeah, do that again. Andrew Kitchen there. He's not blind, is he? Let's take a look. What do you think, Shells?
Well, I don't think the referee's actually given anything against Osher, so I'm not quite sure what he's so furious about. If anything, I think his argument is that Doyle's not looking at the ball, which is all well and good, but I'm not sure Doyle's fouling him either. If anything, it's 6 1 1/2 dozen of the other, and if anything, I'd say Osher's initiating the contact, but no foul either way. I'm not sure what he's got to be angry about.
No, me neither. Look at that. He didn't look at me when he didn't foul me. All right, believe you. Anyway, ball out to left-hand side. Thomason brings it in. Callum Doyle into midfield. James then sweeps it forward out to left-hand side. We've hardly seen Nathan Broadhead, but here he is. He likes to drift out, play inside right or left. Ball back to Thomason into midfield, and then with the Doyle, good ball forward. A little bit of interplay at the edge of the area, didn't quite work out. Willock now trying to run it out deep inside his own half. Amazing little dribble, drop of the shoulder, beats one, beats two. Goes backwards, that was good from him. Perry and G back to Osho. Just in front of him, Alex Robertson. Again, he picks up the ball, raking long ball from him to nobody in particular, and that will go straight through to Anthony Patterson. Yeah, I wasn't certain what the lineup for Cardiff was. Maybe 4-1-4-1, which if it is, I think it's an interesting gambit to try and sort of get your balance on good goal forward. If you really want to be swashbuckling with that, then you fire your fullbacks forward. That puts a lot of strain on Robertson, but he's a decent player. But I'm not sure they can quite throw everybody today. Broadhead probably makes sure of that. You've got two to look after Kiefer Moore, but then Broadhead is sort of dabbing around a little bit. Good challenge by Doyle in the middle of the park. He makes sure that Moylan can't get hold of the ball, and here come Wrexham again. They've got around the back, and then a good last ditch challenge comes in from Callum Scanlon. They're in big trouble there. They got round the back of him, but at the moment, Kieran, really Wrexham are catching the eye. They're looking good tonight so far.
Yeah, certainly much better than their opposition. They're moving the ball forward well, and they're not dreadful in the attacking third either, as proven by Kiefer Moore inside 3 minutes so far. Another corner for them.
Yeah, they've had line share possession, 68%. Another corner comes in, one-handed dab by the keeper, and then not a great shot from Matty James. I think the thing is there, somebody's just about to come and stop him, so he couldn't get a free swing at that. I think Willock does just enough to put him off. It makes the shot look pretty terrible, but it wasn't really. 2 shots from Wrexham, 2 on target, nothing from the Bluebirds as yet. Need to somehow step it up. We're 13 minutes in. It is 1-0 to the Red Dragons. Red hot their start, and the Bluebirds are a little bit cold at the minute. Need to wake up. There's the ball down the flank for Thomason. Just gives Robertson something to do. He chests it and plays it down. Nathan Trott picks it up, and Bagan put under a little bit of pressure. They're playing out from the back, but well, Nathan Trott on the ball, and he's opting to go long. Then a battle, which was won by Dominic Heim, and then Wrexham back on the ball with Lewis O'Brien, and then Thomason left-hand side. Nearly cut back in. Fluid football from Wrexham. 1 and 2 touch, and as soon as I say that, everybody for Cardiff just filters back and it all slows down. Here they've got round the back though, Wrexham, and his shot goes near post. Shot then was expecting a cross, and he nearly got caught out near post there, but it didn't quite work out. But again, another shot across the bows for Wrexham.
Yeah, it's more warning signs for the Bluebirds, and again it's Osho playing him onside. 2 other players might have played him onside anyway, in Robertson and G, but he's a yard or 2 behind the rest of his line. Osho, something needs to switch on, to say the least, in regards to that aspect. He's already been caught out once to the point that the goal's been conceded.
I think, as I said, at Luton he was in a back 3, and you know, he was a junior member of that as well, so he would have been getting ordered around and you know, told in no uncertain terms where the line was, and that he needed to follow it. With break off right now because Tanner's trying to get around the back. He's won his corner, I think. Oh, they've given the old double kiss, so he doesn't. Unfortunate for him. I thought he had. Anyway, we were talking tonight about Cardiff City's back 4, essentially 3 fullbacks and Osho. So he's got to set the terms of engagement with the line. He's holding the line twice. He's been caught Dolly Davis. Somebody got to shout at him then.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just too busy focused on his man in Kiefer Moore, or whether that be Broadhead on the left-hand side from Wrexham's point of view, but he's going to have to be careful. He's already undone his side once.
Here's Imre, got round the back again. He's held up the ball into the box, so allows an opportunity. The cutback just about dealt with by Robertson. Ball cleared away, but it's all Wrexham. They're looking good tonight. Anyway, they still have the ball in midfield. O'Brien, ball forward. Little touch back from Broadhead. O'Brien had carried his run on. He just couldn't bring the ball into the box. Thomason, though, puts a good-looking cross into far post. Imre gives a little shove. And I think that means it's going to be a free kick. That was spotted by our referee, Andrew Kitchen. But some really good play. Rathbone there. Just nice and easy, but then the midfield pivot goes bombing on. And where Osho is? Yeah, look where he is. Where is he? He's everywhere.
Again, he's obviously too bothered about his man. Just following Broadhead deep and leaves so much space for O'Brien. They're lucky, actually, or he's lucky, I should say. O'Brien's first touch was a little loose and behind him, otherwise he'd have been in and might have well scored, and it would have been 2 goals to the fault of Osho. Yeah,
he doesn't know whether to stick or twist tonight, does he? I think maybe too much on his shoulders, but anyway, it's a struggle. It does seem odd that Cardiff would go this unbalanced into the first game of the season. You know, 3 full-backs and 1 centre-back against a big team. But it is what it is. Sometimes you pick up early injuries. You just got to cope. Here come Wrexham again through the middle. Osho had come out again with Broadhead. This time he's won his little duel. Good for him. Little cut inside from Jack Moylan. Ball to Willock now driving into the box. An opportunity for him. Lays it back to the edge of the area. Robertson gets it out of his feet. Perry G out to Tanner. Tanner, an early ball in, not the worst I've seen. Was there a handball in there? Looked like a handball. No, the referee's giving it the other way. Wow, I just thought they're flirting with the disaster. Salek was in there. He's asking the referee what. Might see that again. It's interesting.
Well, it'll be the 3rd time he's been penalised for being too physical, Salek. I'm not sure if he's trying to rely on his physicality a little bit too much. This was nice play, though, from Cardiff. Really well switched over to Willock. I just thought his pass to Robertson could have come a bit sooner, but once it was out to Tanner, he only had one thing on his mind. He'd done right because there's 3 or 4 plays in the box.
I don't think he did
a foul.
What
did enough, is there?
They didn't do anything wrong. What did he do?
I think there's an argument to say it's 2 hands in the back, but it's more to sort of protect himself from Hyam. I think it was jumping into him rather than a push on Hyam. There's a serious injury now by the looks of it. I think it's Imre. He just went up in the air and landed on his shoulder funny. Very funnily, I should say. I think it was Scanlon didn't jump. Imre did, and he's landed on his shoulders in quite a lot of pain.
Yeah, oft times you see that, don't you, where you've got 2 guys and one who's not going to go up for the ball makes a back for the other guy. He comes down from a big height, and I always thought that they should outlaw that, really. If you're not...
I think it's supposed to be a foul. If a player purposefully doesn't jump and leans into the player that has jumped, it is a foul.
I've never seen it given. Or
it's meant to be.
I can't remember. When it was. We're looking at the Kiefer Moore goal again. He just latches on to the end of Imre's out ball. Really, it wasn't so much a pass as a clearance, was it? So he didn't know much about it, but it's a really good finish.
The more I watch it, the more good a finish it gets, and the less and less I want to blame Trott. But you can see how close it is to his head. I mean, you're not prepared as a keeper to save the ball right in front of your face necessarily, but he's obviously hit it hard and hit it well. I mean, he's happy with it.
I think again, when I look at that, I just think his body shape's a bit crumpled. I go back to the master, Peter Schmeichel, and he'd made the save before they got there because he'd be great, big and huge. He'd be almost like on his tippy toes saying, "Get past me, I'm massive." But whereas I think Nathan Trott's starting off almost hunched like a coiled spring rather than just try and beat this. If it is full height, it might even come off his head, and if his hands are up sufficiently in the air, maybe he can bring him down. I just didn't like his body shape, to be honest. It looks like Danny Imre is going to be all right. Good news for Phil Parkinson, who long-standing manager now of Wrexham. Now, let's face it, you know, Wrexham are a bit of Johnny-come-latelys. There's a bit of envy with, you know, some fans buying to the dream of it all. But one thing I do like is that they've kept faith with the manager when they could have gone all Billy Big Time, couldn't they? But he's done a good job, and they've rewarded him, and he keeps his job.
Yeah, he's done well. Obviously, double or triple promotion, was it, from National League to Championship? I think it was 3 in a row, wasn't it? In the end, actually. But, he just missed out on the playoffs last year, of course, not by much, a point if I'm right, or 2 at most. To Hull City, who of course eventually went up. So they'll be looking to better that at least this season, Wrexham. I'm sure many of their fans will be hoping for Premier League football.
Yep, they will. I wonder at which point, though, a team like Wrexham loses momentum. You've seen it with the likes of Bristol City, who hovered around for a while, and then, you know, if you can't get it done, all of a sudden you end up in mid-table or worse, don't you? But they still have momentum, I think, as Perry and G trying to run through a brick wall there. The ball bounces back to a colleague, and Moylan then strikes it off Doyle. It will allow an opportunity. The good news for Cardiff is that, despite being pretty awful to start with, they're only a goal down, and it could have been worse. Still, they haven't had a shot on target, as Salek can now try to get through there, and he has a stab at that one. He claims he was caught by the keeper lately, Anthony Patterson. It was a dreadful back pass. Salek saying, "Look, I got caught." It didn't look like a foul, did it? But I understand why he's sort of, you know, making a noise.
I think Patterson's won the ball and then maybe followed through slightly on Salek. And funnily enough, he's back to his feet and fine. But he did the 4 roly-polies and foul, so he must have.
Or not. Anyway, yeah, that's his version of events. But I've got sympathy there. You know, you clear a ball. If you're clearing through the man, it's a foul nowadays.
I think he did that.
So there's a reason for that, which I remember, is because once upon a time, Liam Ridgewell of Birmingham City knew he was going to get the ball, absolutely went through Theo Walcott, got the ball, absolutely went through him, did his knee ligaments, and he was out for half a season. And they decided at that point they didn't want somebody knowing they could win the ball but destroying the man afterwards. He didn't really destroy him, did he? That's the thing there. He got the ball, he just got there ahead of the man, and there was no intent, was there, to hurt Salek. So I think that's the difference there, I suppose. Anyway, Willock trying to hold up there. Imre's done a good job and leaning in. But the ball with the Red Dragons, Imre trying to get some traction, but eventually 2 or 3 able to stop him in his tracks. Scanlon just doing enough. Well, it's been free-flowing and fast-moving so far, but we are halfway through the first half, listening to independent off-tube studio commentary, and it's going to be Kieran now to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, it's weird watching a football match with no hydration break. Here we are at Spurs Stadium actually on Saturday. They had a hydration break in a friendly. Halfway through each half, I thought, what was that all about? It was about 28 degrees, but I'm not sure that's the point. 1 week out from the season, you probably want to be match fit for 45 minutes at once, wouldn't you? Anyway, all eyes on Anthony Patterson after he cleared that ball. We're going to get another look at it actually. It wasn't a bad touch from Salek, although he got very lucky to get through, and you can understand why he might have been hurt, but he wasn't. He got straight up after his 5 roly-polies. It's really good goalkeeping from Patterson. If anything, Salek might have got a touch off the ball onto Patterson. Meanwhile, the Bluebirds coming forward again. Tanner forward once more. It's Robertson in the box. In fact, it was Ashford who couldn't get the ball out from under his feet. Now with MG, Robertson, to Scanlon. Space now for Willock on the far side. 1v1 with Imre. Puts it on his right boot, but watched carefully by Rathbone. Have to recycle it now. Bagan. Show looks to be the only option, but he's somewhat marked by Moore. Trying to work the ball forward, not force it on the home side. Robertson, cusp of the attacking third, just to switch the ball, in the end just chips it over to Osho. G. Now, with Moylan once more. Salek finds Tanner on the edge of the area, who's just about skipped into the box, didn't go down under the challenge. Finds space for Moylan, who's hit it over the bar. Should have done much better, the Irishman.
Well, I don't know. He was leaning back on that when the ball comes to him from the right-hand side. He's hitting it right-footed, and it's almost impossible to get his balance right. He did well with that. Those things sometimes you see hitting the standing leg and all that. Too difficult a technique is the long and short of that. But it was a good opportunity. When they get the ball, they pop it about a bit, don't they? And it's nice and neat, but it's actually giving them sort of half chances there. Anyway, that's their second effort now. So a little bit of improvement. I just get a sense here, Kieran, that Wrexham have just stood off a little bit now, just admiring their work.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just sort of managing Cardiff's possession. Clearly not too desperate to win the ball back. The last thing they want to do is force a possession turnover, and doing so leave gaps for Cardiff to come forward, because they will punish you. Is that free kick going to be taken quickly? I don't think the referee's allowing it to be. Not that Salek got on the end of it anyway. The irony being that Wrexham gained possession and were therefore upset that it wasn't allowed to be taken quickly. If Salek had gone through, they'd have been upset that it was taken quickly, of course. It's taken quickly again though. They'll lump it into the box for the big men.
No, it's one of those, isn't it? Did we take it too quick? Oh, sorry everybody. Yeah, well, we'll have another go. They have improved Cardiff, but not that much that I'm overly impressed with them. They've actually got some XG as Unji now makes a break.
It's a nice bit of play as well. Maybe space for Rashford. He's trying to dance around everyone, gets his shot off, but straight into the hands of Patterson. In the end, he can't really get any real purchase behind the ball. It's a bit of a chip at it, just stabs at it. Really nice football between Moylan and G, and then G finding Ashford well, who in the end almost beats 3 men on his way to his shot, but by the time he's taken that many touches, it's not a large corridor to get the ball through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's on the tightrope there, isn't he? Little dainty, as we see a shot come in from Kiefer Moore from a long way out. Keeper, shot spilled it in front of him, which meant then that the player coming in had the right to have a dab at the ball. It wasn't a great shot, but it really wasn't a good save, and then that led it to a little bit of contact. And I think your assertion there, Kieran, would be that shot's making too much of this match.
I think he's making a meal of it. I mean, it's bounced awkwardly through him. There's absolutely no contact at the top of his head.
There's no way that
if he held the ball as well as he's holding the top of his head, there wouldn't be a problem. He's been slightly caught on his left shoulder perhaps, and he went down holding his head. Rathbone just running into him. Not much in it really, not enough to be in pain, that's for sure.
And all of a sudden now he looks fantastically well.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no ref, I don't need to go off for HIA. I'm all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, miraculous recovery there. It's a miracle. But yeah, I don't like that.
It's just pointless because they've got nothing to gain. Time wasting either. Cardiff is the irony. They're coming forward again now. G wins the ball back after Moylan lost it sloppily. Now Robertson in the middle of the Wrexham half over to Scanlon. Now Willock once again 1v1 with Inway back onto the right foot, ball into the box. He's really testing Hyam, who can head it away fairly confidently. Not sure what Robertson was doing there, trying to almost scorpion kick or back heel flick it backwards to his own centre halves. He's got away with it nonetheless. Tanner now wanting to beat his man once more, tries to get a right footed cross in, and it's been given as a goal kick and another double kiss.
Yeah, I'm guessing that just looking through the teams and subs and all that Callum Chambers, club captain, is injured. Otherwise he'd obviously be in the back four tonight, I would have thought. I never quite understood where his best position was, but Cardiff certainly made improvements here. I still think that Wrexham have got the beating of them, and if they go one each, they could probably come back for more. But at the minute, they're being rather conservative with their efforts and just allowing the Bluebirds back into the game.
Coming forward on the right hand side again through Tanner. Back to NG, who's gone down but not claiming a foul, although his staff will. O'Brien But too much in that, I'm not sure he did too much wrong. Wrexham's number 27. Free kick taken short yet again. Back to Osho, in fact, inside his own half. Looking to move the ball forward quickly, though. G's been caught out there by Broadhead. He's just going to slow down a bit. Thought about going for the quick break, but decides to be patient. Nice chip ball over the top to Thomason on the left-hand side. He's got quite a lot of space. Osho's going to dive over in the box. In the end, the Nigerian does well to win the ball and clear it away. Looked like he was going to go in for a reckless challenge.
Perry Ng's been good going forward, and the Singapore international, he's a good player, but he just stopped there. Like Thomason's got past him, he made no attempt to get back, and then if Osho doesn't come across, he's got virtually everybody to mark as the ball into the box again, and just about dealt with by Scanlon there. But I feel Osho's all by himself today. I feel a bit sorry for him. He's got a lot on his plate with the keeper behind him, doesn't know whether it's stick or twist. He does have a holding midfielder, but there's a lot on his plate because there's only one of him in Robertson. You know, you usually get two pivots, don't you? A bit of help, but I feel Osho is definitely all at sea, and it isn't all his fault.
It's not. Every time he's got on the ball, one thing I will say is he wants to get it forward. He's definitely a positive centre half in that respect.
Look at him striding forward, then he realised that he's it. He's the only real defender, so he quickly had to go back to his position there. Anyway, long ball for Cardiff for Willock didn't work out at all.
So, a tough watch so far for Brian Barry Murphy. But his team have got a lot better since the 15-minute mark, maybe for the second half of this opening half an hour. Nothing really to write about apart from two shots towards goal, one on goal. Simple work though for Patterson. A bit of head tennis now between the two teams. Sees Doyle with the ball on the edge of the centre circle. Space for Thomason out wide, albeit on the halfway line. Bit of a press from Cardiff, although they seem to be working out whether they're going to press together or not half the time. Ball back to Patterson so he can clear forward. Kiefer Moore seems to think he was offside, so just ignores the ball.
I bet nobody's touched the ball more than Osho, and I bet the other thing is he might think that he's having a wow of a game as well, and in many respects he is, but in other respects, you know, because he's playing Kiefer Moore on side for the goal, then we can point at that and say, no mate, you've got it wrong. But he will be so heavily involved in it because there's nobody else that he will probably feel he's doing well here. Here he is again, Osho. And this time there's a little chip on him by Kiefer Moore. They tangle. Osho goes down really too easily there, I felt. But then referee's giving Kiefer Moore a card through all that.
Yeah, a bit odd. Clearly feels that he was far too physical on Osho. Maybe putting a marker down. Andrew Kitchen does average just under 3 yellow cards a game.
I didn't feel that was.
No, there's not enough in that, is there? Not all.
No. I feel there's an elbow, but
it's a push, nothing more than that.
Yeah,
it's not an elbow, is it?
There's a bit of an elbow in there, I think.
He's pushed him with his elbow.
Yeah, but it's not a.
It's not swung an elbow.
No, he's not swung an elbow. It's not, and it's just physical play. The first thing was there that Osho wanted the contact. He wants to get hands on him. He wants to anchor him if he can. And the next thing for me is that Kiefer Moore's shrugging that off. At worst, it's a free kick, but it's definitely not a yellow card.
No, very harsh from the referee. I can only assume he's trying to lay down a marker, like I say. Just tell everyone else that he's not going to have any more of that unnecessary physicality. The only other thing I'm thinking is that he was looking at Kiefer Moore and he wasn't looking at the ball when he made the challenge. So unless he's giving it for just sheer intent. Yeah,
but again, we saw that other challenge that we Osho in the box saying, well, he wasn't even looking. But does it matter? Tiny little bit of contact does not necessitate a yellow card. But here comes Broadhead, here come Wrexham.
Yeah, Broadhead with the overlapping run of Thomason, who's used. Thomason with a chance to cross. Good challenging from Osho.
Yeah, he's having a weird game, isn't he, Osho? Brilliant and terrible all at the same time. But listen, he's a one-man wrecking ball. I've got to say that the ball wasn't He wasn't that good of a layoff to Thomason, was it? And my other thought was he might have been used as a decoy there, because that had dragged Osho across, and then when you've got rid of him, there's really nobody else. But Osho did well, and it's a corner.
It's going to be in swung from James from the left-hand side. Towards the far post, Trott does well to get a punch away, but it will be another corner.
I just don't fancy him at all.
No, he looks nervy, doesn't he?
When he came out, yeah, he's got, he's put the ball out, so he's done his job, I suppose. But he looked really, for want of a better expression, limp. There was no conviction in what he did there. He seems to be getting bullied. He didn't look like the biggest keeper either, but that's a bit of a bugbear for me. I want him to be a certain size. He's 6'2", but he, I don't know, seems to be getting bullied.
Ball in towards him again, Kiefer Moore with the header off the top of the bar. Never really looked like going in, hit the bar from only 5 yards away, but the concern will be that he's won that header, and where that ball's come in, I'm wondering if Trott should be coming for that. I think he realises that it's coming quicker than he's had time to react to, and in the end, Kiefer Moore was pretty much unmarked.
Yeah, it just skims off the top of his head. He's a hard man to mark, isn't he, Kiefer Moore? To Bournemouth he was at. He was
2 years.
They played him in midfield, wasn't it? And I thought he played his socks off, inside left, and he was brilliant, And that's in the Premier League, where, and he's playing out of position essentially. I just thought, well, that's the calibre. So you could argue he's somewhere between Championship and Premier League. But he's a good player, and if they could keep him fit all season, then I think they'd have a great chance of finding themselves promoted.
Played for Cardiff as well for 2 years, during the COVID years, if you like, from 2020 to 2022. Just the 9 goals in 39 games for Bournemouth, but as John alluded to, not necessarily in the number 9 position. Tanner almost nicking the ball off of Thomason, but in the end, the left midfielder for Wrexham keeps it, does well. Just over 8 minutes left of regular time. Well, that's a great ball through, and Imrie might be through! Was it saved by Trott? It was. Just gets a hand on it, and you have to say it's a good save.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to do something right, hasn't he? And there, clawed the ball out. And Roy Keane would say it's his job. It's a brilliant first touch from Imrie, and there, it's a very difficult shot to save because that ball bouncing just in front of him. It's scuffed. I don't think it's going in though.
It might be coming off a post, but Trott doesn't know that, so it still has to go down as a good save. He's done just enough to tip it away.
Yeah, he's come out of his box there. He was quite bold with that. Like I said, the ball scraped on the half volley. He's managed to get enough on it for a corner.
It comes in towards Trott, but on the top of the goal. No harm done.
Yeah, I could imagine that ball looping in again. I feel when when crosses come in, he looks all at sea. What's Jack doing there? Jack Grealish watching in the crowd.
Is he off on loan?
He played the other day, didn't he?
I thought he did in the Community Shield.
Yeah, he did. So, which was unexpected. Maybe a new lease of life for him. He looks fit as anything, and obviously he played. But yeah, well, that was at the Principality, wasn't it? So he's obviously hung around.
Perhaps, yeah, before Manchester City's first game next week, or this weekend, I should say, in the Premier League. Robertson's on the ball from deep, well inside his own half, just allowing Scanlon and G to get a little forward, though, and G's dropped back into his half to get on the ball. Back to Osho. They're only going backwards at the moment, Cardiff. And G now gets the ball into the opposition half, inside to Robertson, inside the centre circle, over to Scanlon. He's got a bit of green grass to run into, opts to play the ball forward to Willock. Now Bagan. Robertson wants more. There's not a way through really for Cardiff at the moment. Wrexham just sitting in a firm shape to prevent the Bluebirds from progressing much further, and it's working. It's worked for most of the half, to be honest. Cardiff definitely had more of the ball in the last 20 minutes or so, but just the 2 chances. Wrexham probably had more than that, despite having less than the ball. Nicked it back again. O'Brien's doing so well in midfield for Wrexham today, winning the ball and progressing it very well. Broadhead tries to skip away from Robertson, but fails to do so. Robertson, who's trying to be the controller, if you like, for Cardiff. Perhaps Ashford and Moylan are just a little bit too far forward. They could maybe do with a double pivot to help them progress the ball, although they've progressed it well now. Scanlon forward to Moylan into the box. What can he do? He tries to get around Hyam. Ball is flicked into the air slightly and then cleared by Viner. Bagan looking for a cross to the back post, but it's a dreadful ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a terrible ball. Got to do better than that. At the moment, Wrexham just seem to be allowing Cardiff the ball. They've just knocked off, conserved a bit of energy for when they might need it, but they're holding them at bay. Really, they don't overly bothered by it all. You've got to be a little bit concerned if you're Phil Parkinson that it's almost coming too easily. Really, you know, that's when football bites you, when you've relaxed. And they look relaxed, but they're probably going to need a second goal, I would have thought, at Wrexham tonight. They might regret just having taken the foot off the gas in this first half, when clearly Cardiff have got some stuff to sort out.
So throw in for Scanlon. Forward to Moylan, who takes a heavy touch, and that allows the Dragons to get back in possession. Ball inside to Broadhead, who's 1v1 with Osho, tries to take it round the Nigerian, gets his shot off, hits the back of Bagan. He didn't know much about it. Trying to get it forward quickly, Willock, who's then fouled inside his own half from a retreating Rathbone. Didn't like there was too much in it, but referee gives it nonetheless. Willock, who's seen a lot of the ball, tries to move it quickly. I don't think he's done a bad job, in truth, so far.
No, he's done all right. Ashford and we saw that shot from Moylan, but we need a little bit more from those 2 guys, don't we? They've got plenty of bodies forward for, you know, when they do get forward, all that nice, neat passing, just trying to work an angle and get their shots away. But maybe somebody like Colwell, who's a bit more dynamic, is required for tonight's game. He's on the bench, so too Robinson. So they have got options. But here comes Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner forward to Ng, who was obviously in number 10 position. Then Robertson tries to flick the ball over to Willock, which was clearly the wrong decision. But they've still got the ball to Cardiff. Scanlon, Willock once more onto that right foot into Moylan, who's trying to flick it back to Salek, who's laid it off for Robertson, who takes the shot, but it's blocked. Not dealt with by Viner, but it will trickle through to Patterson, fortunately for him.
Yeah, the build-up's okay, isn't it? And I thought Salek did all right there. He's putting himself about, a little laid back there, but the shot blocked away. They just always seem to be running into numbers, don't they? You know, it's a 3 at the back for Wrexham, and then a fully loaded midfield, and they seem to have a good balance about them. Really, they're not killing themselves when they break forward either with too many numbers. So yeah, I think Phil Parkinson has probably got most things covered out there.
1.5 minutes left of regular time. Can't imagine there'll be too much added, maybe 1 or 2 for the goal celebration and whatnot. Meanwhile, Trott's allowed to canter forward. Plays the ball over to Salek, who heads it downwards. Scanlon will collect. Just allows Imre Rathbone to get back and prevent a sharp pass into the box, though. They've been patient, Cardiff. Not taking many risks when it comes to playing the ball forward, which might be why they've not generated too many chances. Yeah,
that's it. It's a bit like we said. There's lots of like nice, neat triangles trying to work an extra half second to get a shot, but nobody's taking anybody on, have they? And there's not too much of running past somebody or that kind of thing. It means that the centre backs, it's all in front of them what they need to deal with, and so they've got lots of blocks in and what have you. Just looking at the Wrexham bench tonight, Davis Kayla Dunn. He played quite well in recent seasons and scored a few goals. I think he might be an important asset as the season rolls along. But scoring goals for Barnsley or Mansfield, not quite the same as in the Championship, is it?
Not quite. It's an interesting signing actually for the Red Dragons. Obviously, probably be a second or third choice striker for most of the season, you'd think. Good challenge in there from Viner, I think, just to prevent Willock from getting the ball once more. We have now ticked into the 46th minute, so 45 played. 2 minutes of added time given by the fourth official. G now on the right hand side, just pokes the ball between Thomason's legs, but well covered by O'Brien again to keep the ball away from Tanner.
I think watching this and watching Nathan Broadhead who has got like a bit of a license to roam around and go and affect the game where he can. I like that. You know, a lot of players when you say, you know, go and be second striker or go fill a gap or what have you, tend to go missing. But he's shown it quite well, I think.
Yeah.
And I thought he's a bit older, but he's in his prime actually, 28. So you know, maybe this is going to be his season. I think he's been liked at most of the clubs he's been at, but anyway, yeah, I've sort of been impressed by him tonight.
He's not afraid to get himself about. Always seems to be running at least 80%, which is what you want really from a manager. Work rate. Tannen, meanwhile, trying to take on Thompson, back onto his left foot, trying to get a ball into the box. All he's going to manage is a throw in, but time to take, and G's not going to go for the long throw, goes short. Back to Tanner, inside then to Ashford. Ashford trying to create a bit of space for himself or teammates, flicks it forward to Salek. Moylan tries to flick it back to Ashford. It's going to have to be prevented from going out for a corner by Thomason, who's had to do a bit more work as a left back than a left midfielder in this opening 45. Infield to Ashford, Ashford into the box to Moylan. They might have a corner to finish the half, Cardiff, they will.
Whenever they popping the ball around, you always just notice how narrow Wrexham defend and how many bodies then. So you got about 5 or 6 in a big lump that, you know, we saw that with, I think it was Hoyland who got his shot away, but he had to take 4 touches, cutting on one leg onto the other. And you still get blocked out, don't you? But anyway, Joel Bagan, if he can deliver a good ball in here, you never know. Last chance saloon for the half.
In swung then from Bagan towards the far post. Doesn't look like there's anyone there, although Osho's coming round the back. All he can do is head behind, and that will be that for the first half at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1.
It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotley's near post. Did also had a header, Kiefer Moore, what came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotley's near post. Did also had a header, Kiefer Moore, what came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post. Did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff, who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is Cardiff City 0, Wrexham 1. The goal came early for Kiefer Moore. It's a clearance really from Danny Imre, but it bounced a couple of times before he latched onto it. The half volley, too good for Nathan Trotty's near post did also had a header. Kiefer Moore came off the crossbar. A couple of efforts for Cardiff who worked their way into the game, but Wrexham had been the better of the two. It's half-time.
Right, then we're back. Doesn't look like anybody's made a change, not that we're really taking too many notes at the minute, but just having a scan. So I'm not sure about this game. I don't think Wrexham have got it sorted out just yet. I believe they'll need to score a second goal, which means I probably think that Cardiff are good enough to grab a goal. Where are you, Kieran? Do you think the same? Or?
I think they've shown glimpses that it's possible. I mean, and I'm not really sure what I mean by that, but
yeah, that's stabbing with.
I believe they can create better chances than they did. That's what I'm trying to say, really. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the problem. Like, if I'm honest, Wrexham could probably score two more pretty easily.
Yeah, I think I thought Wrexham had got a better package coming into it. We just break off there as daring do by Rathbone. Just put his shoulder in there and came in with the ball. Bagan couldn't quite cope with the physicality. Had he been a normal centre back, he probably would have been at Standy's ground. But here they've got round the back, Wrexham, and the shot comes in, saved in the near post, and Callum Doyle nearly squeezed that in. Well, Nathan Trott saved it, but he didn't know much about it, to be honest. Just got foot out like a hockey keeper there, saving that.
Yeah, Doyle getting uncharacteristically forward somewhat. He actually took a deflection off of Bagan as well. Good reaction from Trott. Another corner for Wrexham. He's at 8th in the match.
Yeah, these big guys, you can't keep giving them these. And the ball comes in. Again, keeper punches. Again, he didn't get very far, but he'd done his job there. I'm not going to criticise that. Yeah, he got something on it. So, and then Doyle's giving away a free kick. So that's allowing Cardiff to get a feel of the ball in this second half. And Nathan Trott having an up and down time, a bit like Gabriel Osho, really. A mixed performance, I would have said. Little flick on there from Salek, but then the next ball's being well read by Wrexham, who then win the next ball with Rathbone. He goes down, but there was a little advantage there. Broadhead keeps it going, but it was held up by Perry and G. Now long ball looking for Kiefer Moore. He rolls to the outside of Osho and then just barge him off the ball. It's a great ball. He's inside. Here's a chance for a strike that's blocked away. Broadhead then right-footed. Some good defending in the end. It's a great forward play by Kiefer Moore, who is very much the man of the match at the minute, I would have said.
Yeah, it looks to be. He's playing very well. I've liked O'Brien as well in midfield for Wrexham. I think he's done the dirty work, but also progressed the ball really well. But Kiefer Moore's just a problem almost every time he gets on the ball, isn't he? Shrugged off Osho, not for the first time, albeit once illegally, according to the referee. But I think he's just going to be a thorn in the side all evening now. Yeah,
he's difficult to knock off the ball, that's at any level. Anyway, the corner kick comes in. This time's a good clean catch by the keeper, but the referee spotted something anyway. So Trott picks the ball back up and puts it back down. That's on a postcard. Then he flicks it away, and then he's got to be careful he doesn't touch it, Osho. He was just dabbing down. He's just getting us all going there. That's another one of the rulings, isn't it, about you touch the ball, either unwittingly or not. So you've got to be careful with that. Trott just walking the ball out, but wasting everybody's time really, including his own. And he launches long. Imre wins the first header, and then they're fighting for it. Willock has got two around him. That's the problem. Wrexham look like they've got more players today. Last-ditch challenge comes in then from Bagan, who'd done fairly well. He's out ball, he's good, and now counter-attack is on. So Ashford rolls it out to Tanner. Tanner is Thomason on a string. And it's a terrible ball. Well read by Doyle. And now the counter-attack is on, and here come Wrexham. Perry and G has got no pace about him, just cannot keep up with it. Run the half length of field here, and a shot comes in, and that's Broadhead just showing a bit of quality. The shot wasn't great, but it all melted away in front of him. It's like, why not? I like Perry and G, but he's like a pace. He's causing them problems anyway. Here come Cardiff through, and then the shot comes in from Salek, but again he's just running into traffic, and he can't get anything clean. One thing though, Shells, this game going end to end is quite exciting now.
It is. Two teams that clearly want to win it, which is good, because I think Wrexham are good enough to just sit back and watch this go out and win 1-0 and probably 2, to be honest, if they really wanted to, although there's 40 minutes left, so you'd argue that would be a ridiculous thing to do, wouldn't it? Thomas Tuchel. Anyway, but there's certainly hope from Cardiff's point of view as well. I think they're confident that they could probably catch Wrexham on the break, although it's Wrexham doing most of the counter-attack for the opening 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's right. I have a sense that Phil Parkinson has told his team they need a second goal. They've been fairly positive. I hope that doesn't dwindle away. Anyway, Willock's on the ball. Free kick being given. Willock had a chance there, and he probably should have let that.
A little bit odd, that.
Yeah, play continue.
Obviously deemed there was no advantage.
Well, that's a bit of a slight on Willock, isn't it? Saying you're not going to do anything, lad. Don't rate you. Maybe he felt he was offside when he picked the ball up, in which case he'd drag it back. It might have been something like that.
If I'm honest, I think the referee's got a point. 3 Wrexham players are over with Willock, and there was only 1 man in the box. I'm not sure they would have gained an advantage.
Yeah, Willock didn't like it though. He's probably been starved of the ball. Anyway, an opportunity to sling it in. Robertson probably going to deliver this one. Bagan steps over the ball. Robertson delivers. Ball and it's headed away. Broadhead picks it up now. He slips to a vital moment of giving the ball away. And then a misplaced pass from Scanlon, but it breaks through the Bluebirds anyway with Robertson. Now back to Willock. And slams one right at the feet of Scanlon. I don't know what you thought he was going to do. He did well to control it. Ball back on the inside. Bagan. Back to Osho in the centre circle. Good pass from him out to the right. Perry MG's got Tanner on his outside. He uses him. Tanner with an early ball in. And a good punch away from the keeper. Under pressure from Salek. Patterson did well. But the ball breaks back. Bluebirds on top. Cardiff 0, Wrexham 1 as Willock now drops his shoulder onto his trusty right boot. He really ran in a circle there. Maybe his left leg's longer than his right. He seemed to be going in an arc. Anyway, Tanner picks the ball back to Perry and G. Better get it right because he doesn't seem to have quite the tools to get back quickly enough. He makes a foul inside the D, which I think was because he couldn't get back in time. He's thinking, I better do something here or I'm going to get caught short again. Yeah, I quite like his play going forward. But like I said, Perry and G now just looks like he's struggling when he needs to put the hammer down to go back. Not everybody's a billion miles an hour, are they? In this championship, it takes all sorts. Craig Bellamy looks on. Wells is head coach still, I think. Although there was, they'd sort of fallen out. Was it Blackburn who inquired about him or something, and some stuff was going on anyway. We don't know. But he'd done a great job with Wales, and I think he'd be a good club manager as well. But anyway, this time Salek, he believes he was pulled off the ball there, and it's going to be a yellow card. It's going to be one of the Wrexham boys who just have done too much, and it looks like it's Dominic Hyam. No stranger to yellow cards, but did he deserve it, Shells?
Yeah, he did. He's pulled him back cynically. I think Salek is asking for a red card for denial of a goal scoring opportunity, but Viner's back, isn't he? Viner's going to get there first. Well, did get there first, incidentally. Definitely a yellow card. Hyam knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he caught one as
first
well.
This season, funny enough.
Yeah. What was last though, I hasten to add, but yeah, I like all the redundant signage at the minute. I looked at the table before kick-off. And
did it shock you?
It did shock me because even though no one kicked the ball, these were comfortable mid-table.
Yeah.
Which I like.
One of them will be happy with that by the end of the season, I'm sure.
Yeah. And obviously, there's a team on -4, so there is a plumb bottom at the minute. Anyway, no matter what. Well, I suppose a thumping could see Cardiff go in the bottom 3. You wouldn't want to be there at any point, but anyhow. They can make this right here if Joel Begum or Perry and G can get their shot away. More likely to be the right-footed Perry and G, but we'll see. Up he steps, hits the ball. The ball did its job there, and then Willock tries to get something going. There was a foul given this time.
Offside, I think the referee's blown foot.
So, taking a look at the strike from Perry and G. Wall did its job there, didn't it? Double
two
kiss.
heads.
Double kiss. Cardiff 0, Wrexham 1. And at the Cardiff City Stadium, I say this a lot, but sometimes you get that feel it's all gone quiet in the stadium. Fans look painted on. There's a little bit of angst already. You know, it's funny, isn't it, how I'm sure the Cardiff fans would have been looking forward to the season. You know, back where we belong, and then maybe back to the Premier League and all that. How quickly hopes can get deflated, but that's football for you. Just when you think you've got it cracked, you've got to start again anyway. The ball played back to Anthony Patterson, and for the Wrexham fans, their adventure continues. And now O'Brien running through, finds Kiefer Moore, edge of the area, gets it out of his feet, finds Imre. Who's with him? Nobody. They couldn't be bothered there. I don't know what Callum Scanlon was doing, but it seemed like he's the fullback, and he couldn't be bothered getting back. Bagan's out of position, and we've seen Osho holding his imaginary line and not knowing where to be. Yeah, they look like they're going to concede again, don't they? Anyway, O'Brien's got a corner kick now. It's going to be a left-footed in swinger. Anything near shot, I think, puts him under pressure. Ball comes in, flicks off ahead, bounces through the box. It looks like it'd be cleared away, but then again dabbed to the edge of the area. Shot comes in, and it's thumped off the post there from Callum Doyle's effort. They're all over the shop when they're defending Cardiff, and you know.
So strange. There's three of them running forwards as if to start a counter-attack, but they never had possession. And so much space for Doyle. And in the end, he hits the post, but
surely right
could have and should have been worse for Cardiff.
Well, the right back should be marking the position.
Yeah.
I always feel when it breaks down, or was Perringy marking somebody from a corner? But you can't be that narrow that you just allow somebody the freedom of the park to have a pot shot. Doyle's second effort. One shot saved near the post, that one pinged off it. He hit it with some venom as well.
He meant it.
He did, and that bit of wood still quivering. Anyway, Cardiff 0, Wrexham 1. And just for the moment, there's a lace that needs doing. Get him off.
I think it snapped.
I think you don't
really
need that.
Complaining about, yeah.
Yeah, a bit damp in it. Rathbone saying, well, what do you expect me to do? I don't know, lad, but do it quicker. Anyway, Viner's on the ball. Free kick, which he will float forward. Sent a long diagonal, looking for Kiefer Moore. Wins the first header. But Cardiff repel the raid. Then Selleck.
Trying to gain territory.
Well, what was that?
Out for a line-out.
Yeah, played for touch.
Dreadful.
Yeah, not the best. But if I'm trying to mitigate for him, I'm thinking, what else could he have done?
It wasn't a dreadful idea, but I just think he can afford to take a touch and think about it rather than just pinging it on the swivel and hoping a man's going to run onto it.
There's no doubt he now thinks it's a bad idea as well. But anyway, maybe they could change him out, maybe not. Like I said, I'd like to see Caldwell come on. Selleck gets the ball caught on his feet there, and then there's a real dive. I think the referee didn't want that because Moyle looked like he'd really overdone that, and I felt that looking at that. There might even have been a foul in there, but when you
throw yourself to the floor like that,
yeah,
you're not helping yourself really.
Not really. Well, you seem not to there. Anyway, here come Cardiff now with Moylan trying to run through a brick wall, and he goes down. He can't believe he didn't get something there, like the boy who cried wolf now. And I might have a degree of sympathy for him there, but I need to see that again as Imre realises Scanlon's coming, and he just ducks out of that, just allows a touch. But anyway, was he fouled?
I can understand why he wants it, because there's definitely a nudge on him, but I'm not sure it's enough for a foul.
It's like a leg comes across when he's not quite upside.
Not quite a trip.
But equally, I don't feel that Jack Moylan was ever really in control of the ball, the Dubliner. Anyway, yeah. So just 24. And his debut, he'd been playing quite well for Lincoln City, who had a decent start, I think, to their season at the weekend. With Shelburne, who scored quite a number of goals. Anyway, here Cian Ashford on the ball. He's been a bit of a stranger to it. He'd be the one I'd be taking out, particularly after he'd lost the ball. But then, so too did Matty James, and now a chance down the right hand side for Tanner. Can he deliver? Not the worst ball to the far post, and that's why Imre had to head it out, because he was fearful of what was behind him, and it's a corner.
It's going to be only the second corner of the match for Cardiff. Wrexham have had 10. From the left-hand side, it's going to be in-swung by Robertson, I believe it is, who's over there to take it. Not before a change, though.
Well, it is Caldwell coming on. Yeah, Ruben Caldwell is a good player, I think, and he, for me, be starting. So he's a bit of a mini force of nature sort of player. Can't Willock the other one going off?
Yeah, looks like it.
So Tanner.
Both Caldwells.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, double change. Joel is the other one who is an attacking midfielder.
Joel on the left, Ruben on the right.
And they both like to cut and shoot, don't they? So we'll see what we get from either or both. It is a corner kick, though, an opportunity for Cardiff, who need to be well marshalled at these. Anyway, a ball comes in. It's a good take by the keeper, Anthony Patson, doing what Nathan Trott has failed to do, which is command his box. Ball into midfield. O'Brien digs it out. Good ball out to left-hand side, and a lovely little touch from Imre. He's got round his man and into the box. Ball across the face then, and well, I tell you what, Scanlon got dead lucky there. His block of that ball nearly put it on a plate for a tap-in, not quite. That was so close to number 2.
Yeah, I thought it was actually really good work though from Scanlon to get there in the first place. It was a quick counter. You could argue he should be there anyway. But like I say, it was a quick break from Wrexham. I think he's done really well. It would have been unlucky if the ball had fallen into the path of Broadhead. It might have been running in, but in the end I think he does well. Advantage.
Yeah, advantage there. Robertson rode the challenge. Ball with Perrin G, then out to the right hand side for one of the Caldwells. It's Joel. The ball comes in, it's nodded away, and that will be another corner. Viner not taking any prisoners with that ball. And I wouldn't say they're building up a head of steam, but they're fighting hard to get back into the game, Cardiff. It's not super fluent, but it's enough.
Yeah, indeed. It's another corner for Cardiff, and they're pushing on. You'd argue they've been the better side for maybe the last 40 minutes of this match, to be honest. They don't really look like scoring yet, though.
On comes the corner kick, and well, keeper's coming out to that. Kiefer Moore makes sure that he doesn't have to do anything there, because he's nodding away at the near post, and he nods it away, gets to about the halfway line. Anyway, Bagan goes back to his keeper. Nathan Trott looks like a 5-side keeper there. He likes to come out and play a little bit of football. He's one of those clearly decent shot stopper, clearly decent footballer. At 6'2", he's big enough, but he didn't seem to deal with crosses that well. Here come Cardiff, but Ashford is caught. And the ball rolled forward, and lovely hold-up play there from Kiefer Moore. He was getting ragged about by Osho. He did really well to hold on to it there. He's having a wire of a game. It's just reminding everybody he's just a handful, and that's at all levels of the game, really. I don't think anybody would particularly enjoy playing against him, you know.
No, he's big. He's about 6'6", isn't he? He's massive, strong, good with the ball at his feet, as we just saw there as he flicked it away from a G, I think it was. So I definitely wouldn't want to play against him. He's good with half a yard as well. That's all he really needs. I mean, we saw in the first 3 minutes that he can hit a ball from a tight angle. He can find the back of the net very well with head and feet. He's got it all really, just not quite found the top level of his game, if you'd argue that should be top end of Premier League standard at 34.
Yep, but you know, from small beginnings, big things have grown. Here cross comes in for Wrexham from the left-hand side of the reach. Anybody? I didn't know this. Just looking at his stats, he was born in Torquay.
Indeed. Played for them. Their youth system.
Played youth
until it was abolished, I believe.
And then he out to go to Truro, which is a lovely town. Dorchester, again, county town of Dorset, beautiful. We're going to see a change now. For Wrexham, they're about to bring on Ben Whiteman. So he's a defensive screen, really. Anyway, a chance for a strike now, and that's not too far away from Broadhead. He caught it cleanly. I feel maybe this time Nathan Trott's in a good position. Possibly had it covered. Again, not the worst from Broadhead. So it is Ben Whiteman then coming on. And having just snapped a lace. Oliver Rathbone, maybe that's why it's gone off. Bad footwear. In fairness, Rathbone, we didn't mention him much, did we?
He wasn't as busy as O'Brien or James, I don't think, no.
So I think that allows maybe Matty James to go a bit further up the park and influence the game. Same O'Brien. He is more screen. Anyway, marking the referee at the minute. Ben Whiteman. No, it's those lads in blue. Anyway, here come Cardiff, edge of the box. Scanlon. Ball on his outside. The ball flicked up in the air, up go the heads. It's through the box. Ashford puts it back in, blocked away by Doyle. Nothing much doing, but I just get a sense that fairly defensive sort of changes, really, even though it's a like for like. But you get the sense of they're not going for a second. It's more let's shore it up kind of thing. Whenever those kind of substitutions are made, it makes me a bit fretful for the team who make it, that they're sending out the wrong message. But anyway, we are 3/4 of the way through the game. You're listening to Independent Off-Tube Studio commentary. It is Cardiff 0, Wrexham 1. He's had a glass of water. He's ready to go. Kieran Shelley to take us to full time.
Thank you, Hogs. And Cardiff are still pushing on. As I mentioned, I firmly believe they've been the better side for the last 50 minutes now of football, yet just the one shot, I think, this half, which is not good enough. Maybe we're at the point of the match now, Wrexham think that we can sit back, we can win this 1-0 and maybe go for a goal on the break, and that'll be enough. To be honest, from what I've seen in the opening 70 minutes, I believe it is. Depends how the substitutes change the game for Cardiff. They're still only used 2, a double Colwell change. Nice bit from Moyle though to get into the box. What can he do? Can he find a man? He goes for a shot. Poor decision, poor shot. Easy for Patterson. And it's another opportunity wasted, really, for Cardiff.
Yeah, a nice chop of the shoulder to start with.
Dreadful.
Yeah, he's all right foot on that left-hand side, and what it requires is for him to drag it from his good right onto his left is Osho stands his ground for once. That's enough with Kiefer Moore. He's just beginning to look a little bit tired, I think. I think he's. He may well have rode his race today. I think they've got enough height about them that they could take him off now.
I think he's perfect for this sort of stage of the game, though, just to run and take the ball and hold it up and maybe lay it off.
Yeah, I know you're right, but he just looks like he's tanked.
Does look
Maybe,
knackered, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe it's one of those.
They're playing with nine men behind the ball anyway, Wrexham, so just leave him up there.
Yeah, maybe.
He can saunter about, but I've no doubt he will be taken off, to be honest. He's done his job so far today.
You want to go off when you're on the lead. When I left, lads, we were winning. But of course, you know, I'm sure, and it's such a long, hard season as well, the Championship, isn't it? You're not going to win or lose it right now, are they?
Scanlon looking to maybe get a cross in. Got Moylan over there for support. Robertson tries to play it forward to Ruben Colwell, but a bit of miscommunication as Colwell made a run that Robertson didn't see. Still off the ball though, Cardiff, albeit with Trott. Robertson again, their controller in midfield. Everything's through him really, albeit from deep. Ruben Colwell switches it over to Ng, who has Ashford for support, who's now playing as the right winger. I think Moylan's gone over to the left as well, so both Colwell's through the middle. 2 10s if you like. Ng. Now Ashford once more, 1v1 with Thomason. What can he do? Wants to get into the box, wants to get the ball into the box. Colwell into the box. There's got to be a push in the back of Hyam, and there is from Ruben Colwell. A little bit silly.
Yeah, desperate to get on the ball. Yeah, he's sort of got a bit of the Morgan Rogers about him as Ruben Colwell. As well, we said it, and I genuinely didn't know, but I just saw what they saw, that he looked like he's run his race right now. Kiefer Moore going off. Yeah, he's been very good, and I think he'd be a strong candidate man of the match. And Caleb Dunn comes on. We mentioned him earlier, didn't we? It is a big step. Whether he can do it's another thing. Smith has come on as well. Broadhead and Moore are off.
Yeah, clearly the scouting department at Wrexham have seen something in Caleb Dunn, which means they believe he can be Championship standard. Someone's gone down now for Wrexham. As James actually in the middle of the park. Odd, Matty James, just as Patterson was about to take his free kick. So Wrexham might be forced into their 4th change.
Yeah,
Phil Parkinson points at the bench, tells someone to get up and get warm.
Well,
not sure how he's picked this up.
All that happens, of course, and then you know, and there's a lot of toing and froing, and then everyone goes for their drink. But I don't think that was the intention of it. We saw a lot of that in the last 2 seasons, tactical subs and you know, people going down tactically to make changes. But I think this is legit an injury. Let's hope we don't get too much of that in a different guise. You know what it is. I think if you offered the manager a hydration break at the quarter point, they'd probably all take it, wouldn't they, to chop and change things. But that's not what we as fans want. But
Dobson might be coming on for Wrexham in James's place. George Dobson looked to be warming up and ready on the sideline.
Yeah, it was all rushed and hurried, wasn't it? But definitely George Dobson looks like he's coming on. So he started off at West Ham, didn't he? Well, Arsenal and then West Ham. Didn't get a look in really. Was all alone. Then I like it when they go abroad. Sort of young English lads and get a schooling elsewhere. So young Sparta Rotterdam, young Sparta. Bescott with Walsall. This season's with Sunderland.
It's going to be a double change actually for Wrexham. They're going to have to use the 5th if they're going to use it, of course, with it being the 3rd window. So that they're going to do. Imre looks to be coming off as well for Ryan Longman. So Longman and Dobson on, James and Imre off. That'll be all she wrote for Wrexham's changes and Phil Parkinson's changes. There's 15 minutes left. If Cardiff can equalise, the fact that they've then got 3 more substitutions might play a huge part into whether 3 points are won in this one. A lot of ifs.
It's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of changes as well. Sometimes all that a mass amount of changes does is we just destabilise the game and make it really clunky and nobody goes anywhere. Wrexham will be hoping that, and that fresh legs can just stop any go forward at Cardiff. But here come Cardiff, and Colwell's an opportunity.
Moylan on the left-hand side, forced to check back to Scanlon as red bodies get back quickly. Forced to play the ball back to Reagan as well. Now cross to Osho. Scanlon once more on the cusp of halfway, harried by Longman, who's just come on, showing his energy early on. Longman trying to win that ball back as soon as possible. Poor pass over to Moylan. Sees Viner intercept. Not rushing the ball forward though, Wrexham. I think that the message since those substitutes came on might be just to try and keep the ball as much as possible. That being said, Dobson's gone for a long ball forward, which will allow Ashford to get back and win it ahead of Thomason. In a bit of bother though, Ashford needs to get it away one way or another. Goes short to Washoe, doing anything but clearing it. Cardiff. That being said, Washoe does clear it only against his man, and there might be a chance on the edge of the area as the ball's taken away. It's wide. That was a great chance in there from Whiteman, I think it was.
They're just terrible, aren't they, Cardiff? Any real defending they need to do, the 6s and 7s, and they gave the ball away. They're so lucky that they didn't go down to 2. So at this point they go down to 2. That's probably the end of the game.
Might be a chance to cross now for one of the newly introduced forwards. Overhead kick attempted from Keeler Dunn. Well, that would have been a way to introduce yourself. Ball came in from Smith. From the right hand side, the 2 new forwards. Cardiff trying to get forward, but at no point have they outnumbered Wrexham on the break. Too smart, Wrexham, so far in this one. Ball over to Scanlon and Moylan. And now left midfielder. Wanting to take on Longman. He's done well as well. Moylan into the box, takes his shot, deflected off the back of Hyam. Could have gone anywhere. Half the goal was open as Patterson was expecting it going to the far post. A high five and a corner.
Yeah, showing a bit of tenacity, the Dubliner. And I think that shot might have been going in.
I think Patterson maybe had it covered, but he was certainly going on target.
Yeah, we'd have asked the question, but yet again, it's a good block by one of the Wrexham defenders. But yeah, Moylan keeps on going.
Robertson again to in-swing this corner. Opportunity once more for Cardiff from a corner kick. Only their 3rd of the match. He's on top of the keeper who punches it away well. Scanlon's going to pick it up and look for Robertson straight away. He wants to cross it in but goes short into Colwill. Nice chop away from oncoming defenders, but can only play it back to Bagan, who's got space now to find a man. Now, Joel Colwill on the right hand side. Ashford looking to get a cross in, perhaps all the way to the edge of the area. Space on the edge for Robertson, who just chops it back. Perhaps didn't need to. Gave O'Brien a chance to win the ball and get away. No foul, says the referee. O'Brien's incensed. Cardiff play on. Moylan forward to Colwill, just can't find the 1-2. Again, Wrexham can take the ball away. It's good intent from Cardiff. I think they'll be upset with themselves if they don't score the way they've played, but chances few and far between. That's a handball against Smith, which seemed a little harsh. Seemed to just bounce up at him rather than he actively moved his arm to the ball.
Phil Parkinson goes spare with that last decision because he was in great shape there, wasn't he?
It's a harsh handball, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just dead unlucky there. The defender goes to ground and he just carries through. But anyway, decision went against him. Wholesale changes now for Cardiff on last throw of the dice, really. And cometh the hour, cometh the Callum Robinson, who seems to have been around forever. So yeah, throwing plenty of attacking intent at it.
Capacchio's on as well.
I know he's only young, but
I know what you mean. He's never impressed me last year, and that was in League One, of course. Capacchio, I believe, normally plays at right back, so I'm interested to see how they change up. It's actually a triple change for Cardiff. Also coming on, I believe, is Isaac Davies, yeah, the forward. So it's 3 changes. Still not clear who's come off, actually. Robertson's come off for Robinson. Scanlon's come off for Capacchio, so you can only assume that he's going to go to right back and Bagan to the left back, or G at the back, unless 3 at the back or 4 up front, or who knows.
Yeah.
Well, Bagan's definitely staying at left back, we can see that. Capacchio at right back, and G has indeed gone centre half next to Washoe, albeit right sided.
Well, that's
to
good,
the left.
That's where I had him to start with. So that,
perfect.
That
you were right all along.
That neatens things up for me.
Moylan's still on the left side of midfield, so Capaccio in right back. Still trying to just make sense of all these changes. Robinson out for Robertson in the middle, so it'll be 3 fairly attacking midfielders now. I think Ruben Colwell will be the sitter, and Robinson and Joel Colwell will be the attacking midfielders, and then Isaac Davies as the striker alongside Salech. Something along those lines. I think Davies is actually playing as a right midfielder now.
I'd forgotten Salech was on.
I forgot he hadn't been taken off as well. I assumed he would have been for Davies. Ball forward looking for the Danish striker, who's not had many touches in this second half. Still 9 minutes left. The game feels like it's been going on for ages.
It has.
From a Cardiff point of view, at least.
Well, do you know what? When they're exciting games, they say Moylan's gone off.
I'm not sure he has.
I'm pretty sure we just saw him down left hand side on the ball. But anyway, did our eyes deceive us?
What do our broadcasters know, eh?
I don't know, but is he here?
He's still on the pitch.
Yeah, he's still on. So as you were.
So Isaac Davies was on for Ashford. There we go. Ashford is off. So Isaac Davies will play as a right midfielder by the looks of it. Moylan now on the left trying to better Longman. Green is across to help get the ball away. Forward to Smith. In a physical battle with Osho. He wants the foul. He's going to get it.
I'm not sure he deserved it. Ball bounced off him. And then Osho got round him. Was he holding on too much there? Maybe he did drag him to the ground. I take it all back now. Don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, foul from Osho. He's had a difficult night. You know, when they go back in tomorrow, look at the video and all that, and they'll be looking long and hard at the positions that they took. You know, if one goal separates, they've been undone in 3 minutes because Osho didn't know where his line was or didn't step up, or because they're not playing a line. We see a shot come in from inside the box, but Sam Smith can't get any purchase and an easy save for Trot. So it's down to one thing, isn't it? We can argue Wrexham were the better team, and maybe they were. Maybe they'd have gone and scored anyway if they'd not got one. But you know what I mean? It's like if it's all down to one thing, they'll look at that and go, wow, he could so easily have been offside if only Osho had stepped up with the rest of his team, followed the line of his team's defence. But who's in charge of that? You know, so they've got a lot of discussions when they watch the video about it. Here come Cardiff trying to get through. Colwell trying to wriggle that ball through, so close to doing it. Here come Wrexham counter-attack.
On the other end with Smith now. He's been forced to retreat back to Thomason, who can't keep the ball in, so it's a bit of a gift for Cardiff for a throw-in on the far side in the opposition half. Capacchio's going to go back to G. Ruben Colwell from deep. Like I say, he's going to play as the deep lying playmaker, if you like, for Cardiff now that Robertson's gone off. Ball into the box from Bagan. It's not dealt with by the defender. Joel Colwell is up for it, holding his head, not going to get anything. Bagan wants more now in his more familiar left back position. Forward to Ruben Colwell. Osho from deep looks for the long ball, but instead goes sensibly to Bagan. Gets it back. Now ball chipped into the box. Patterson's there, safely into the hands of the goalkeeper, and tries they might, Cardiff. They've never really looked like scoring.
I was just about to say that. I could write down a lot of half chances, but it's easy for me in 30 seconds to say they huffed and puffed, which is what I will say. Other than that, I mean, Wrexham have scored their goal, but they've also had a header that went off the crossbar. They had a shot from Doyle that pinged off the post. You know, they've just been better tonight, haven't they? And then they'd sort of settled for it, haven't they? 1-0. It might still come back to bite them because here come Cardiff.
Yeah, there might be an opportunity to cross. They're going to get another corner, Cardiff. I think with their 4th or 5th of the match. Nothing spiffing in terms of numbers. They've not really done anything with any of the corners either as of yet. Still an opportunity. Bagan from the left-hand side can put in a good delivery. The Irishman. They might have to now if Cardiff are going to get anything from this game. All the big men are in there. Salech and G, Osho. And that's probably all the big men for Cardiff, really. Into the box it goes. Headed away by Smith. Capacchio from the edge of the area miskicks it. It's headed away comfortably. That right back is going to get back to retrieve the ball for Cardiff, goes back to Trott. Now Joel Colwell trying to drive forward on the left hand side. He's got Robinson I should say, sorry, for support. Colwell once more over to Capaccio. Davies on the right hand side, what can he do? Since coming on, he's going to win another corner by the looks of it. Yep, another corner for Bagan to take from the right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're laying siege, but they've had the lion's share of play, so they're not banging the door down. They're just gently rapping at the door, aren't they, kind of thing. But you never know. They've got an opportunity because they're about 4 minutes plus add on, which so they've probably got about 7 or 8 minutes to grab a goal.
Might be a break on for Wrexham though, still in their own half, but now Doyle can bring it away. It's potentially a 3v3. Looks more like a 4v5 now for Wrexham. Longman has gone wide, crosses it, not a bad ball. Good defending though from Bagan. It's still alive for Wrexham. Can they get a shot off? Doyle does, straight into the hands of Trott. Nothing spectacular in the end. It looked promising when the first broke away, but nothing doing.
Well, they sort of defended it and then gave it away again, didn't they? How many chances are they going to give Callum Doyle tonight? Clearly out of the three centre-backs. Yeah, he's got the licence to roam, but he'd be dreaming about his missed opportunities tonight. That ball just spooned up in the air for Nathan Trott in the end, but they'll be kicking themselves, won't they, Wrexham, if they don't take 3 points from this game, because they've had their chances.
Their first win in 4 against the Bluebirds, albeit the last league encounter in 2002. Ball deep towards the back post. Isaac Davies heads it back across. Joel Colwell tries to keep it alive, can't do so. Then Ruben Colwell floats it over to Bagan. Bagan's got a lot of room to cross, does so. Not a great ball, headed away by Doyle. Taylor Dunn keeps it in, but only to the feet of Runji. Over to Osho over to Bagan, trying to get forward as quickly as possible, Cardiff, but Wrexham are standing firm. The less they move, the less spaces open up for Cardiff. It seems to be the mantra for the Red Dragons at the moment. Davies, Capaccio, exchanging the ball on the right hand side. G. Davies once more on the right hand side. Looks like he wants to take his man Thomason on, who's played all the match so far compared to Isaac Davies' 5 or so minutes. Maybe a chance for G to cross, chooses not to. Capaccio wants to take Thomason on as well. Thomason does really well though. I think he's done well most of the night doing his defensive work as well. The left back, that being said, that pass was loose, but doubled up on with help from Kayla Dunn. Smith up there all on his own. Back to Thomason. Wants the ball back. In fact, it's a run from O'Brien, trying to get on the end of that ball down the left channel. Straight out of play though, and it can be thrown back in quickly by Bagan. Ruben Colwell from deep to his brother, trying to get the ball forward. Now a bit of space for Robinson perhaps, who chips it over to Moylan on the left hand side, who just plays it a reverse ball to Joel Colwell. Now back to Bagan, who can cross. Again, not a great ball, easily headed away. Don't think he's played particularly well, Bagan, by his standards. I thought he was one of the strongest left backs in the league last year, again of course in a lower league, but tonight his balls haven't been on the money.
No, I mean, when he's delivering that cross in from the left 2 or 3 times now.
It's too short, isn't it?
Yeah, he just allows the defenders to attack it. He's got to be about 10-15 yards further up the field for that ball from the left to be meaningful. Yeah, just too easy. But you know, sometimes at the back end you sling it in the mixer, hope for the best, and I guess that's what he's been doing. But it's been a difficult night for him as well, because he'd been having to play centre back and all that as well. Oh, here's an opportunity. Oh, well, I tell you what, nearly a goal there for Smith on the half volley.
Out of nowhere again, and you could argue it's Osho who's been caught out. It's a great run by Smith. Ball's allowed to bounce. He just goes to lob it over Trott, who wasn't anywhere near it, and it goes wide. 6 minutes of added time, and the Bluebirds are going to keep pushing. Capaccio now on the right hand side. Good footing from Thomason. Still has the ball though, the Welsh right back, forward to Davies, intercepted. Thomason will now try and clear once more. Does so, but only to Ruben Colwill, number 10 and substitute. Gets his head up looking for options, tries to play it into the box. Poor, cleared for Bagan. Forward now to Salek. Again, can't really produce anything. There might be a chance though for Robinson. Ruben Colwill again from the edge of the area. Not a lot of width from Cardiff. Robinson. Colwill's exchanging the ball. Capaccio now and Davies on the right hand side. Colwill again looking to cross. It's a shocking ball, allowed to bounce before O'Brien can clear.
They're so narrow out there defending Wrexham that you just keep rebuffing Rays, don't they?
Ball over to Isaac Davies though at the edge of the back of the box.
Oh, first touch kills him. Stone dead.
Dreadful first touch, but he's won a corner.
Isaac Davies there. If he brings that ball in, then he can measure a decent ball in for once. I felt that because they're so narrow, for me, you could get around the back of these guys, but they don't want to do that, and it doesn't look like they've taken their wingers off to be more narrow themselves, which didn't make much sense.
Bagan with the ball in, ahead of goalwards from Davies. I don't think he really got much on it. It then incidentally came off a Wrexham shoulder by the looks of it. Corner on the other side, taken short. Robinson gets the ball back. He wants to cross. It's not a bad ball into the box. No one there in blue though. Doyle can head away. Bagan collects it on the other side, crosses it back in. Again headed away. Collected now by Capaccio. 4 minutes left for the Bluebirds. They are pushing on, but is it too little too late? Capaccio into the box. Osho's still there. Headed out to Moylan. Bit of space now for Robinson on the left if Moylan chooses to find him. Tries to go to Salek through bodies. Never going to happen. And G from deep. Capaccio forward to Davies now on the corner of the box. Wants to cut inside Davies, but can only go back to G, who will then cross deep. Moylan's there. Not a great touch at all. Ball travels out of the box, and in the end he's offside.
Oh Lord. Yeah, hard watching these guys. They're working, aren't they? You know, there's a lot of effort expended. We take a look at that.
Davies should do better, shouldn't he?
He's diving for it. I don't know where it comes off in the end, but
it nicks off of his head, doesn't it? And then off the top of Hyams. But I mean, Davies. There's an argument to say Davies should score. Really, no one's challenging him.
It's just a glancing header.
Yeah.
There's no conviction in what he did there, and in the end, they were lucky that they got a corner kick from it. So yeah, the Red Dragons fans then are hopeful that they can go back up north with 3 points. I think they'd be good value for it. They look like the better team. They probably should have grabbed the second and made the game a bit easier for themselves, but they didn't. But they're closing in on 3 points. It'd be a good start.
Bagan down to Ruben Colwill. 2.5 minutes left of the added 6 that were given by Andrew Kitchen's fourth official. Isaac Davies now trying to get forward. Joel Colwill from deep over to Bagan. Trying to get bodies forward once more. The Bluebirds, I mean, they may as well risk losing 2-0 trying to equalise at this point. Can't lose more than 0 points. Won it back somehow after a poor ball into the box. Nice feet from Colwill. Maybe a chance for Capaccio to cross. He's chipped into the back post. Patterson's missed it off for his own bar from Hyam. It's still there, but eventually cleared by Wrexham.
Lord.
Patterson missed it. Hyam headed it onto his own bar. You could argue it's a brilliant clearance.
Wow.
If he meant it. Something tells me he didn't. And there might be a break now for Wrexham up the other end. It's Smith with an opportunity. Goes for the shot. Trott saves comfortably. Bagan will clear. This match isn't over. 90 seconds left. Forward again for Wrexham.
Well, the best still last.
Longman.
Most exciting phase of the game. This
absolutely
game swinging
big
in
finish.
How did that ball not hit the back of the net? I do not know.
I don't think Hyam knows anything about it, does he?
Well, Capaccio puts the ball in over the top of Patterson's head.
He's trying to head it upwards and away. You have to say he's done well.
It's a brilliant header.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant defensive header because that's just begging to be touched in by somebody.
Yeah.
He might even have dropped in. You know, spin of the ball takes it back in off the post or something, but good defensive effort. They would have been lucky to get that. It wasn't a well-fashioned chance, was it, or anything, but the ball floated over the top of Patterson. I bet his heart was in his mouth at that point.
And it's the first time that we've actually seen Cardiff get behind Wrexham. And it's funny how beneficial that can be. Capaccio, good work down that right hand side. He's been grafting on that sort of right midfield, right wing overlapping position since he came on with Isaac Davies, and they're going to come forward again now. 30 seconds after the 6. It's probably now or never for Cardiff. May as well get everyone forward at this point. Osho is the only man back really. Ruben Colwell trying to get forward. Robinson into Joel Colwell. Is he fouled? He is. Free kick. It looked like it could have been a penalty.
Lord.
The contact looked to definitely start outside the box though.
Yeah, but when does it get serious? You know, it's all that there was contact, but then where was it a foul? We take a look. He takes a touch.
It's definitely a free kick, isn't it?
And yeah,
isn't it? I'm not sure actually.
No, it is. I think the challenge is slightly from behind. It's like a blocking challenge coming around and through him. It's so close that honestly, I don't know what to do with that. But he's got to give something there, and I think giving a free kick just outside the box is probably the safer option for the referee. Because he's playing.
If he wants to leave Cardiff tonight,
yeah. But he's playing a guessing game about where it is because he doesn't know.
I think the contact starts outside the box, but whether the leg comes in front of Cole, and I wonder if, well, I know that contact was in the box. It's a tricky one. All I know is that if we had VAR, we'd be here till 10:15. So Cardiff hands with head in hands. It's going to be Colwell to take. He does it. It's in the back of the net. Can you believe it? In the 97th minute, the last kick of the match. Substitute Ruben Colwell into the top corner. How'd you like that? 1-1.
I'm a big fan of Ruben Colwell. I say he's a force of nature. He'd not been playing well since he'd come on, but it really doesn't matter, does it? Because he rifled that in, and he goes and celebrates with the fans there, and they've nearly got the shirt off his back. That's football. It ain't over till it's over. And look at the delight there. They weren't great tonight, but it looks like they've got a point. He's probably going to get booked when he comes back on. He don't care.
I don't think he'll care. It's a brilliant free kick.
Yeah,
Stanch, as they say.
He absolutely leathers it, doesn't he? There's no saving that.
No. It's worth noting that it's the side Patterson stood on as well. He's not gone over the wall. Gone to goalkeeper's side, right in the top corner.
Well, Phil Parkinson, the penny for his thoughts. You just look at.
They should have scored another, shouldn't they, really, Rex?
Yeah, exactly that. And you know they hit the woodwork a couple of times. Let's take another look at it. Bang! Nobody saves that.
I think you'd want your keeper to, though. By the way,
It's gone.
You definitely want your keeper. He gets a hand on it. In fact, he pushes it into the top corner.
The thing is, the wall is to save the other side.
Yeah.
Maybe if Dobson's in the wall, he blocks it, but he wasn't. He stood off the wall, and he stood off the wall because the keeper then can look at the gap. So he hits it into the gap that the keeper can see. So he's hit it that hard. The keeper still can't do anything about it, and it's all right saying, well, you know, you could have got a hand to it. I don't think you saved those. Anyway, game hasn't ended yet, but I'm still gobsmacked about that. It is a goal, and yeah, the older brother, Ruben, gets the job done.
And that'll be that at the Cardiff City Stadium. It pretty much was the last kick of the game. Sad face for Kiefer Moore, who thought he'd done his bit, but it has finished. Cardiff City 1, Wrexham 1.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved.